Do you believe in ghosts? Or maybe you're just looking for a good scare? Well, you've come to the right place. Today, we're taking a journey across America to uncover the top 10 most haunted places in the USA. From ghostly soldiers still fighting forgotten battles to phantom prisoners wandering their cells, these locations are guaranteed to send a shiver down your spine. So, turn down the lights, get comfortable, and let's dive into the darkness. Kicking off our list at number 10 is the RMS Queen Mary in Long Beach, California. This majestic ocean liner, now a floating hotel, is said to be a hotbed of paranormal activity. Guests and staff have reported hearing unexplained noises, seeing ghostly apparitions, and even feeling the touch of unseen hands. The ship's most famous ghost is a little girl named Jackie, who tragically drowned in the ship's pool. Visitors often hear her laughing, splashing, and sometimes even calling out for her mommy. Then there's the ghost of a young sailor who was crushed to death in the engine room. His screams are still said to echo through the ship's lower decks. With over 150 documented spirits, the Queen Mary isn't just a historic vessel. It's a floating city of the dead. At number 9, we head to the deep south, to the Myrtles Plantation in St. Francisville, Louisiana. Often called one of America's most haunted homes, this antebellum plantation is steeped in a dark history of slavery, murder, and tragedy. The most famous ghost here is Chloe, an enslaved woman who was punished for eavesdropping. Legend says she baked a poisoned cake, accidentally killing the master's wife and 2 daughters. She was then hanged by fellow slaves. Today, visitors claim to see Chloe's apparition, wearing a green turban, peeking from behind corners or appearing in photographs. You might also hear the phantom cries of children or see the imprint of a small body on a bed, where no one is sleeping. It's a beautiful place with a chilling past that refuses to stay buried. Next, at number 8, we travel to the Eastern State Penitentiary in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. This fortress-like prison was once the most famous and expensive in the world. Known for its revolutionary system of solitary confinement, the founders believed that total isolation would inspire penitence, but for many inmates, it led to madness. The prison closed in 1971, but the spirits of its tormented prisoners have seemingly never left. Visitors on tours report hearing disembodied whispers, shadowy figures darting through cell blocks, and the eerie sound of footsteps echoing in empty corridors. Cell Block 12 is particularly active, with reports of ghostly faces and maniacal laughter. It's a place where the suffering of the past still hangs heavy in the air. For number 7, we check into the Stanley Hotel in Estes Park, Colorado. If this place feels familiar, it should. It was the inspiration for Stephen King's terrifying novel, The Shining. After a stay in room 217, King was inspired to write about the haunted Overlook Hotel. But the real Stanley has its own ghosts. The original owners, Freeland and Flora Stanley, are said to still roam the premises as if they were still in charge. Flora can sometimes be heard playing the piano in the music room, while Mr. Stanley often appears in the billiard room. Children's laughter echoes in the halls of the 4th floor, even when no kids are around. So if you're brave enough to stay the night, just be sure to say hello to the long-term residents. Our number 6 spot takes us to Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, the site of the bloodiest battle of the Civil War. With over 50,000 casualties, it's no surprise that the battlefield is considered one of the most haunted places in America. Visitors and paranormal investigators have captured countless EVPs, electronic voice phenomena of soldiers' voices, cannon fire, and the sounds of battle. At a rocky hill known as Devil's Den, many have seen the apparition of a Confederate soldier who seems to interact with tourists, sometimes even pointing toward locations on the battlefield before vanishing. It's a haunting reminder that for some soldiers, the war never truly ended. Halfway through our list at number 5 is the Villisca X Murder House in Villisca, Iowa. This unassuming house holds a horrifying secret. In 1912, 8 people, 6 children, and 2 adults were brutally murdered in their beds with an axe. The crime was never solved, and the killer was never found. Today, the house is open for paranormal investigations and overnight stays, but few can last the entire night. Visitors report hearing the ghostly whispers of children, seeing moving objects, and feeling a dark, oppressive presence. Some have even captured audio recordings of a voice saying, "Get out." It's a place where a single night of terror has created a lifetime of haunting. At number 4, we journey to the infamous Alcatraz Federal Penitentiary in San Francisco Bay, known as The Rock. This maximum security prison housed some of America's most notorious criminals. Like Al Capone, the prison was designed to be inescapable, a place of psychological torment. Even though it's been closed since 1963, the misery seems to linger. Park rangers and visitors often hear cell doors slamming shut, screams from empty cells, and phantom banjo music, believed to be played by the ghost of Al Capone himself, who was known to play in the prison band. The D Block, where the worst prisoners were kept in solitary confinement, is said to be the most active area, with an intense cold and a palpable feeling of despair. Coming in at number 3 is the Winchester Mystery House in San Jose, California. This bizarre mansion is a sprawling labyrinth of architectural oddities. After the death of her husband and infant daughter, Sarah Winchester, heiress to the Winchester rifle fortune, believed she was cursed by the spirits of those killed by the rifles. A medium told her the only way to appease the spirits was to continuously build a house for them. For 38 years, construction went on 24 hours a day, resulting in a maze of 160 rooms, staircases that lead to ceilings, and doors that open to sheer drops. Sarah believed this constant construction would confuse the ghosts. Today, visitors report seeing ghostly figures, hearing phantom footsteps, and feeling inexplicable cold spots. It seems Sarah's ghostly guests have decided to stay. Our runner-up for the most haunted place in the U.S. is the Lalaurie Mansion in New Orleans, Louisiana. Behind its beautiful facade lies one of the most gruesome stories in American history. In the 1830s, the mansion was home to Madame Delphine Lalaurie, a high society woman who secretly tortured and murdered her enslaved servants. Her horrific crimes were discovered when a fire broke out, and rescuers found a hidden torture chamber in the attic. Since then, the house has been plagued by paranormal activity. Passersby and residents have heard agonizing screams, seen ghostly faces in the windows, and felt the presence of a dark, malevolent energy. It's a place so evil that its history has permanently scarred the property, a grim landmark in the heart of the French Quarter. And finally, at number 1, we arrive at the Waverly Hills Sanatorium in Louisville, Kentucky. Originally built to treat tuberculosis patients in the early 20th century, this hospital saw an immense amount of death and suffering. It's estimated that tens of thousands of people died within its walls. The most infamous feature is the body chute, a 500-foot tunnel used to transport the dead out of sight of living patients to not lower morale. Today, Waverly Hills is a paranormal hotspot. People report seeing full-bodied apparitions of nurses and doctors still doing their rounds, hearing the cries of former patients, and seeing the ghost of a little boy named Timmy who likes to play with balls rolled down the hallway. Room 502 is particularly chilling, said to be the site where a nurse took her own life. Her sorrowful spirit is often seen staring from the window. With its overwhelming history of tragedy, Waverly Hills Sanatorium earns its title as the most haunted place in the USA. From abandoned prisons to historic hotels, America is filled with places where the past is never truly gone. Whether you're a believer or a skeptic, the stories of these locations are a chilling reminder that some things can't be explained. Thanks for joining us on this ghostly tour. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more spooky content. Let us know in the comments which of these places you'd be brave enough to visit. Stay safe and sleep tight.